Hey guys, it's Old Man G here back again with a post-match reaction to Manchester United versus Rochdale. Manchester United won, Rochdale won, and Manchester United get through just about on penalties. 5-3 on penalties with Daniel James scoring the winner. Now, I don't usually go live with my post-match reactions. I don't, but to be honest, as you can see in the title, this is the first game I think I'm not saying I'm Ollie out or anything like that, but this is the first game where I'm really questioning the tactics of of the club, of the side, of everything. Like it's very difficult. I mean, I think a lot of people are going to criticize the players. A lot of people are going to say Jesse Lingard this. A lot of people are going to say why Chong wasn't good and Rashford and all these things. A lot of people are gonna blame the players, but the reality is that the players should be good enough. They should be good enough to beat Rochdale at home. They should be. We're at Old Trafford. Okay, we're at home. We should be good enough to actually beat Rochdale at home. And to be honest, looking at the tactics, looking at the players that we played, looking at the players that we have, you know, we're playing Pogba and Fred essentially as we're playing essentially a 4-2-3-1 formation with Greenwood up top. Fine. Well, not fine, because the reality is that how can we be playing two holding midfielders effectively? Because effectively Pogba, from what I had, I mean, watch it. It was obviously an audio, but from what we had, Pogba essentially was a holding midfielder. You know, that's what Pogba was doing. And I don't get, I really don't get why we were playing poor Pogba so deep. Why Fred was playing so deep. The first 3 months under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was great. We were playing 4-3-3. We're playing quick, expansive, fast, counter-attacking football. I have no problem with the idea of counter-attacking. I have no problem United counter-attacking. It's fine. Um, but we were playing fast. We were playing very quick. Um, Now again, it's like Mourinho, and that's why part of me is just kind of like, was Mourinho completely responsible for the way we played? Because we just seem to be. Is it the coaching staff that we have? Is it the fact the coaching staff is barely the same? Because the people say we don't identity, but we're still playing the same. We're playing the same. We're literally playing the same style that we've been under Mourinho and to a certain extent under Van Gaal and Moyes. Slow, pedestrian, sideways passing. There was no one at all who could actually. Thanks to those who are watching, by the way. Please we can keep this interactive. This is an interactive stream. Post in the comments, stuff like that. Just tell me what you think about this game. Um, but yeah, this was not a good this was not a good performance. And yes, I know we won. And yes, I also know that we've drawn again. I mean, the kick salt in the wounds right now. And I'll get this out of the way now. Is that I believe the draws are rigged. Frankly, in Major City, I think someone at City is bribing the people who do the draws for the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, because City every single um, season seem to get a good draw. I mean, yes, okay, Southampton's a Premier League team, but they always seem to get a good draw. It's usually a home draw against cheap opposition. That's what Manchester City seem to get. And in the FA Cup, it'll be the same up until probably the semi final. By then, most of the big teams are out anyway. This seems to be the standard with Manchester City. United, in typical fashion, United get Chelsea away. And we also played Chelsea away last season. I think was that FA Cup though? I think that was FA Cup though. But we played them. We got drawn together. So no, I'm sorry. There's something dodgy sort of going on with whoever's doing the draws. I think personally, yes, that may sound a bit bitter, but I'm a bit that miffs me. But the reality is that um, Chelsea played to die, and they scored 7 goals. They scored 7 goals. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. I just think that Say Memphis, sorry, Memphis. After today, I'm done. We should go for Eric Ten Hag. Tired of seeing shit counting for every goddamn game. Memphis. Yeah, I mean, mate. Um, the thing is, and this is what I'm trying to, I guess, say in my post match reaction is that I don't think it's just getting the quality of player though. We had the players on field to easily beat Rochdale. We did. I don't think we can we say that we didn't have, just like Spurs had the players to beat Colchester yesterday. Because if we don't, then why are we paying them hundreds of thousands of pounds? We had the players to beat League One, bottom of League One opposition on that field right now. For me, my critique here is with Ollie and the coaching staff of tactics, because we should be playing two holding midfielders at home into side. And frankly, it was only in the last. It's again once we conceded the goal, and it was the last 10 minutes. Then we were like, right, okay, we need to step up a gear. This is going to be embarrassing. We need to step up. Why do we not? Why is it that we either it's like a lackadaisical approach, a laziness, I think just an arrogance that we're just going to walk over these teams and we put ourselves into trouble, or it's tactical because frankly, the urgency, there was no urgency really. There's no we had a lot of shots on goal, although and of course I think we did create a fair amount of chances. But to be honest, with the way they were playing, you could argue why you know and I make the statement here, with the way that we're playing now, why do we actually sell Lukaku? Because the way that we're playing now just fits into Lukaku's strengths. We said we sold Lukaku because we wanted to play fast, quick, dynamic football with good build-up play. That was why, and Lukaku doesn't fit in that system. But we're not playing that type of football. We're playing the type of football now that Lukaku's in, especially because now we were creating, especially I think with obviously Williams made his debut, and I think he had a semi-decent game, Wan-Bissaka and so on. We're creating a bit more chances, and we need someone in the box. One of the things that I noticed during this live stream was that, aside from Greenwood, obviously being the forward, once again, not many people going into the box and anticipating, wanting to get on the end of things. We don't have that. People are not we're not doing that. And that is a very big problem. A big problem. Every goddamn time counter-attacking football. Like I said, I have no issue with counter-attacking football per se. It can work. It's a different style of football. If the counter-attacking football, we did it under Sir Alex Ferguson. If it's quick, if it's fast, smash. And we did it against Chelsea. Williams had a shit game today. To be honest, mate, he was still better than Phil Jones. He Wan-Bissaka was awesome as always. For me, to be honest, I think a shout out goes to Axel Twan-CB. I know obviously we concede, but from what I watched, listened to, Twan-CB had a solid performance, and I think that he obviously wore the captain's armband, and I think that if Lindelof continues to be a bit shaky, this is the one thing I would take from this. Well, a few things. If Lindelof continues to be a bit shaky, I would say that Axel has a case, Twan-CB has a case of potentially replacing Lindelof and having maybe a Twan-CB Maguire partnership. At least that's my opinion anyway. So he's very quick to come back, and he can certainly win more balls in the air in comparison to Lindelof. So that's a shout out to Twan-CB there. Wan-Bissaka, again, I think solid, though he lost the ball a few times, but did the goal come down his side? No, it didn't. Did any? I, I think that he was fine. Romero obviously saved the penalty, so no concerns with Romero there. Thanks to everyone who's watching, by the way, really appreciate it. But yeah, it's frustration, and I know it's weird me saying this because we've won the game. We have won the game. We can't be too, Rochdale positive side, but it's the tactics, guys. It's the tactics, and I don't know what Ollie's tactics are, because Is it that we're just going to be giving youth a chance, giving youth out? Then, to be honest, if you're going to go and full out youth, you play Williams, play Garner, play the whole youth in this game. Show that. No, that's the thing. It's like, what is the philosophy? If it's just fine, we're just going to give youth. I don't think there would have been any problem if the majority, if you had, of course, Gomez and Delo were injured. Otherwise, they would have played. Fair enough. But if you had, Garner, Williams, all the people, the majority of our team actually being youth from the start, if you had that, then I don't think you'd have, if we didn't play that well, I don't think many United fans could have a cause for complaint. If we know that what we want to do is play youth, if you know what we want to do is see where the youth, where the next generation of Manchester United players take us. That's fine, that's different. And the best way to test them is against teams like Rochdale. That is fair enough. But the reality is that quite a lot of these players that are playing are potential first teamers. Lingard is a potential first teamer. Lingard didn't do anything in that game for me that warrants that first team position. But then, worryingly, who goes into position? Fred, arguably better than Matic. But again, what did it? Pogba, I think is still a good option. But we have plenty of Pogba, and then of course your Matters, Daniel James. I think had an impact when he came on. But the point I'm trying to make is that we had first team players in that team, and they didn't perform either. And so again, the question has to be asked. Well, hang on for a second. What are we tactically trying to do? And honestly, my question is, I don't know. And I pose this question to Ollie. I pose this question to you guys as I wrap things up. What actually is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's strategy here? What is it? Is it to give youth a chance because he's not doing it consistently enough? Although our board say that we are. Is it to play fast, attacking, dynamic football? Well, we're not. It's pedestrian. What is Ollie's philosophy? Because right now it looks like we're just going back to how Manchester United have always been, and I'm very, very, very concerned about Arsenal. Come the weekend, I really am. I really think we're gonna. I really think we're gonna be screwed. Even though Arsenal tend to not travel good away, that's literally the only. If Arsenal traveling but poor away, and their managers' poor selections. No. Memphis. No, I didn't say Lingard's the first teamer. What I meant by that was that we had a lot of first team players in a squad today. So what is concerning me is that if we were just playing all youth and we just scrape this win, I think that would be a bit. I think we'd have a different reaction because we say, well, given it's good game times, experience, etc. I don't think anyone would have complained if the majority of our team were youth or bystanders, like B team people coming in with scrape through. I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. The problem I have is that you have players that are seen as first teamers, i.e. Lingard, Pogba, Fred, and what have you, Matter, that are in that squad that didn't perform today. They didn't perform against Rochdale. So I'm using Lingard as an example as a potential first teamer. If Lingard can't do anything against Rochdale, then what's the chance he's going to do anything against Arsenal? Although granted, history tells us that Lingard will score a brace against Arsenal because it's Arsenal for some reason are Lingard's banter club. But who knows? But I'm not particularly confident for. I mean, I know it is Rochdale. I know it's this game, so you can't really. But this type of performance isn't the type of performance that you can take into the weekend with positivity, especially because United are going to. Arsenal fans will continue to banter us. I imagine. We haven't scored 2 more goals since opening day. Our finishing exactly, but I think a lot of that. But again, and this is what I'm saying about the fact that the way that we're playing actually suits Lukaku. So I don't know why we sold Lukaku. Rashford has been injured for God knows how long because I think he's just been playing with injury. He's tired. He's been playing all the games. He hasn't been scoring. We were relying on a 17-year-old Mason Greenwood to step up, and I think that's too much pressure. to the reality is when Rashford came in, it was because Martial was injured, but Martial was only injured temporarily, and there were other options available, other attacking options. Right now, we're relying on Mason Greenwood is essentially our sole attacking option. That's a different scenario to where um, Marcus Rashford broke in on the scene. And I think that's too much pressure for a 17-year-old, to be honest. It's too much. More importantly, Martial, who is arguably, I would argue, our best forward. Out of the four, Bosch our best forward. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm praying he will be fit for Arsenal. Because if he's fit for Arsenal, and if Pogba has a good game, then we've got a chance. We've got a decent chance against Arsenal. But if those guys are not fit, especially Martial, then I think we're going to struggle. So I don't know where our goals are going to come from. I really, really don't know. Greenwood's trying, but like I said, I just think it is wrong. It is absolutely and totally wrong that we trust in a player and put that burden, on him. I think that's wrong. I genuinely think that's wrong. Yeah. Manchester United won. Rochdale won. Pereira, I think it was, that conceded the chance to Rochdale, the 60-yard, and they deserved it, to be honest. If we're honest about it, if we are genuinely honest with ourselves, um, Rochdale deserved that performance. They did. They defended well, although we had multiple chances, and they deserved a draw out of it. They did. They were just unlucky in the penalty shootout, and that could have gone either way, but for Romero's save. Memphis again. Mbappe was 17 when he broke into Monaco's score, so I don't just see the pressure on. Yes, but you could argue, but then look at that Monaco squad. We're talking about Monaco's squad at that time that had Bernardo Silva, that had Fabinho. So this wasn't a Monaco squad that was a terrible team. He had a good coach and good solid players around him that could support him. And also, it's the French league as well. No offense, but I don't think that Monaco squad back then trumps any squad that United had up until this point. To be honest, Hassan Khalid says Ollie is not the one to be blamed. I feel sorry for Ollie. I'm going to disagree, mate. I agree that the board and the players haven't stepped up to the plate. I agree with that. But this, for me, looking at this game, this is a tactical, and this was the same thing against West Ham on the weekend, where there's tactics here. There's tactics here. I cannot accept that players who are on £100,000 plus a week, that have been through the mills, that are internationals, okay, that have Premier League games on experience, bar Chong, and who I would argue had a poor game, Greenwood and Williams, who are just having senior games. I can excuse those three because they're just getting their games, they're getting their minutes. I can excuse them. Everyone else has either has international experience, Champions League experience, European experience, is on high wages. You can't tell me that those players are not good enough to be able to beat a bottom side League One Rochdale. Like they have to be. They have to be. If they're not, then what are we doing? 26 shots on target. Yeah, I get, but how many? No. I don't think it was 26 shots. Was it 26 shots on target, or was it? Well, even if they had 26 shots on target, how many of them were speculative? And more importantly, the match still ended 1-1. So Rochdale had five shots on target, and they scored one. So if you're having 26 shots on target, and yet you score one, what does that say about our forward line? What does that say about our finishing? And to be honest, hearing the radio, a lot of those shots were speculative shots from Marcus Rojo from outside the box. Chelsea young lot. Yeah, exactly. They did shots not on target. Exactly. Yeah, that's my point. Chelsea young lot trust him. Yeah, of course. So this is what I'm saying. So Chelsea, what does that say? The point I'm trying to make here, Hassan, is that what does that say about Manchester United as a football club? Because Lampard trusts his youth, trusts them, and even in Premier League games, he's playing Mason Mount, he's playing Tammy Abraham. These were nobody players, and they're also the thing about Chelsea, the thing on Lampard is, I can see what Lampard are trying to do. I can see the philosophy. I can see the quick turnover, the high press plays trying to make. Even though defensively they're not good, I can see what he's trying to do. I can see his games. I can see his philosophy. I don't know exactly what Ollie's philosophy or game style is right now. I don't. Like the last couple of games, all I see is just Mourinho Mac 2. Yes, finishing is a thing, but the same thing could be said under Mourinho, to be honest. Our finishing was okay. We're not being dominated by teams, but let's be honest. How many big teams have we faced yet? We haven't faced City. We haven't faced Liverpool. We're going to see how we are Arsenal against Tottenham. And Chelsea was ages ago now, and it seems like a bit of a fluke. I'm sorry, all isn't to be blamed. This is Memphis. Our finishing is shocking. I agree, our finishing is shocking. But once again, with the way they were playing, why did we let Lukaku go? Lukaku would have scored. If Lukaku was playing today, Lukaku would have scored 3 goals. 2 goals at least. He would have. Because our argument for Lukaku going was what doesn't fit the style that Ollie wants to play. But the style that we're playing, yes, the style that we're playing suits Lukaku. So why do we let Lukaku go? If we're not playing fast, quick moving football, we're playing sideways passing, slow build up play football, which is fine for Lukaku. We let a 25 plus goal scorer leave, and then we haven't replaced him, and we have an injury. We have an injury to Marshall, who's probably our better finisher, and Rashford putting pressure on him, who is now injured, and now putting pressure on a 70-off. That's not right. That's not right. Hassan Khaled, to be frank, letting Lukaku go was a big miss. Okay, it was not good last season. Scored 21 in his debut season. Still, I hate this first touch. Got bulky after World Cup. Yeah. I just think that letting Lukaku go without getting replaced was a big mistake. But again, and I reiterate this, we let Lukaku go because we said he didn't fit our style of our football. If Lukaku if Lukaku gets chance in the box, generally speaking, he'll finish them. His build-up, i.e. for the first touch, is bad, but generally, if he's in the box, if you give him balls into the box, he'll score goals. He'll score goals in the box. He's a penalty box merchant. In the penalty box, he'll score goals. Give it to him to feet, he'll score. Simple as that. If you create the chances, But if we're gonna play the style of football that Ollie supposedly says we want to play, oh, thank you for subscribing, Hassan Khalad. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Like I do these leaves. I wasn't even gonna do this, but I felt I just needed to vent this off my chest. To be honest, because I'm not trying to say. And it's the same thing to Memphis and to you guys. I'm not an Ollie out. I will support Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I do think that there is. I do think there is something to be said. Ilya United, Pereira, Pogba, terrible. Just thanks for joining Ilya United, Pereira, terrible. But what are the alternatives? Arguably, I don't think we can blame Pogba and Pereira here. Again, why are Aerofort? We don't have any other player who can do that other than Pogba. I think Axel Twansibi and Harry Maguire can give aerial threats. Harry Maguire definitely is our main aerial threat right now. But the question has to be asked: why are Pogba and Fred playing so deep? Pogba last season, at times under Mourinho, and certainly in the first 3, was playing really advanced, really forward. Why is Pogba? Because if Pogba is playing that deep, that has to come from the coach. That has to come from the coaching side. That has to come from the coach. It has to come from the coach saying, I need you to be at the back to help protect the back 4 and to carry the ball forward, because there are not that many players that can carry the ball forward other than Paul Pogba. So he's being told to play deep, which I think is wrong. I think that there doesn't seem to be an agreement as to who is basically a holding midfielder. Matic is too slow. Fred, Ole doesn't seem to trust him, and Pogba just seems to just sort of carry the role. And so, with Pogba playing so deep, we don't have that player who can really burst forward, spray passes, connect the midfield to the attack. There's no connection from the midfield to the attack anymore because Pogba is playing so deep. Um, Reading some Ollie in. Yes, I'm Ollie in for now. But I think the question has got to be said is that are you guys going to be and posting and post in the comments? Are you guys if by Christmas we are in the bottom half of the table, are you guys still going to be Ollie in? Um, Hazard, yep, Maguire's and Slephead, yeah, but we need to utilize it. And frankly, United from corners, from set pieces this season have been awful. We're not scoring goals. We're only scoring from penalties. We're not creating chances from corners or set pieces. It's bad. It's bad. Um, Memphis all needs to go back to 4-3-3. Get that? Yeah, 4-3-3. We need to go back to 4-3-3. I have no idea why we keep on playing two holding midfielders. We do not need to play two holding midfielders. I think you try playing Fred there. Even if we don't like Matic, you play Matic there. We should only require one holding midfielder. We should put teams on. We should go on the front foot. I think, and I'm hoping we play that well against Arsenal. But if I'm honest, I feel like against Arsenal, we'll probably play Matic, McTominay, and Pogba. You know, possibly maybe McTominay, Pereira, and Pogba. That might work somehow. I don't know. Um, Pogba played well as an RCM at the start of the season. Still, he's too inconsistent. I just think he's just been. I just think it's coming from the top. I think he's playing too deep. You know, I think I would love Pogba to even play as a number 10 a role. If they're going to play one at the back, then play Pogba in number 10 role or something. I just think that he's playing too deep. You know, he is playing way too deep. Okay, let's say Ollie gets out, squad remains the same. No, yeah, the squad does remain the same. I agree. And I this why we get guys. I'll say to everything that guys, Memphis, Hazard, and Illa that's still there is. I've got no doubt that the issues with the board, with signings, and I've got no doubt that Ollie's signings that he's made were very good in bringing Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and Daniel James. All very good signings. And from that point, and that for me is the only point thus far where I'm like, okay, I continue with Ollie because the signings he's brought in have been good signings, and I'd loved him to be a director of football for us. But the signings brought in are good and have been positive. So maybe give him another transfer window, as in a summer transfer window, and see if he's given the backing. So I agree that he hasn't been backed as much as he should. However, there is a difference. However, once again, this is Rochdale. We're not talking about Arsenal, City, or Community League. We're talking about Rochdale. And we're talking about, do those 11 players in the field, is that enough to beat Rochdale? And my opinion is yes. And my opinion as to why we didn't convincingly, or at the very least easily beat Rochdale, was tactical. Not because we didn't have the players, but was tactical. And that's what concerns me. If this was against Arsenal, Southampton, even Leicester, I'd be like, we don't have the players. But this is Rochdale. You know, this is Rochdale. That's what we need to remember. Hassan Green, give him a year or two, unlike others. I will support Ollie as long as he's manager. But for me, the issue is that will he be given time if results end up poorly? Because you know, last time we won at Old Trafford against Leicester from a penalty. The last convincing win at Old Trafford was against Chelsea. When was the last time we won an away game? We haven't won an away game this season. I don't think. I can't remember when the last time we won an away game was. Our form from the time Ollie took over as Manchester United manager is actually relegation form. You know, it is actually relegation form, and the only reason why we're in the situation that we're like no one's panicking because we're still 3 points off top four, is the fact that all other teams around us are also doing quite badly. Arsenal are inconsistent. Tottenham seem to be having a really bad run. Um, you know, Leicester. We'll see what happens with Leicester. But there's other teams are not doing as good as we were like, and if we could take advantage of it, we could get up there. But right now we're not. So I'm holding fire for now. But it's not so much because of us. It's just because everyone else around us is doing bad as well. And obviously Pogba's number 10, yes. Wan-Bissaka, Mason, and James are the only players I'm most interested to watch these days. Wan-Bissaka is a G, to be honest. I think I'll make a point here. One of the things that the big thing that concerned me about Manchester over the last 6 years is that, and sorry, feel free to comment, guys, is how many players do you know that have actually improved? How many players that over the last 6 years can you say this player has improved, has gotten better? David De Gea is probably the only example I can think of. Every other player that has come in, has been into Manchester United, I cannot think of a single player that I can say, right, that player I've seen the improvement in that player. I can't. Marcus Rashford was getting there. He was there a bit, but that hasn't happened. So it worries me, because especially when we have good potential players like Wan-Bissaka, like Daniel James, like Maguire, and us coming in, do we have the skills, do we have the tools at Manchester United to actually make these players better? Because that's what we're seeing at Liverpool. That's what we're seeing at City. That's what we're talking about, good coaching. Sterling came from Liverpool to Manchester City. He's better. Like Sané came from Southampton to Liverpool. He is better. Salah came from was it Roma to Liverpool. He is better. Trent Alexander-Arnold, better. Robertson, better. These coaches are making their players better. I'm looking at United players. I'm like, okay, of all the United players, how many of them have been better or made better compared to where they were in their previous clubs or in the academy? I'm scratching my head, and that for me is a worry, a big worry. Other than Casa Khalid, other than that, we have a sprayer who can, any player who can take corners. I would say just get Pereira to take the corners. To be honest, get him to take the corners. He seems to do a semi decent job at taking them. Young. To be fair to Ashley Young, and I don't give Ashley Young many compliments. If you watch my previous videos, Ashley Young, um, Ashley Young has, given the fact that he's having to step in with Luke Shaw, hasn't actually played that badly. Actually, I can't think of many things ways that he hasn't actually been played that badly. There've been other worse players like Matic and Mata. He's been okay. He's compensated because what he's been needs to do. No one Rashford is a fluke. Sure, no. Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be honest, yeah, I was going to say Van Gaal did it, but no. Rashford was. I think Rashford. I think Rashford. I think Rashford. The thing with Rashford is that Rashford. It's the sort of peak early thing where you, in an ideal world for me, is United would be like Chelsea, or would have been like Chelsea, in the sense that they actually send their players on loan, and they develop their game time. Do you want to know one of the reasons why I believe that Axel Tuanzebe looks solid, or relatively solid? It's because he was on loan at Aston Villa last season, played very well, played the full season there, got them promoted. So he's had how many games of experience, and he looks solid. That's why he's solid. He's now lingering on the bench at Manchester United. I don't get what the rationale. And this comes from maybe the coaching, maybe from the board. Yes, we have a depleted squad, and I think that's probably why he's not gone on loan. So we obviously put Smalling on loan, I think, to Roma. But the reality is that why is it? Someone explain it to me. Why we have all these players, all these youth players, and they're just under 20 fees. They're not. You know, Chelsea put a lot of their players, like Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, all these players on loan to get experience, to get game time. We need to start doing it as a football club. I think Chong has potential, but he needs regular games. Players, teams, they need regular game time to develop. They are not getting regular game time at Manchester United. We're playing Matic and Mata, and all these guys, Gomez, for example, I was screaming for Gomez, but if you're not going to play him, send him on loan. Send these players out on loan to championship sides or abroad, ideally even to your Bundesligas or to the League On to get that experience so they can come back. I have got no idea, and someone explain this to me in the comments why we don't send our players on loan, and we don't give them experience, and then we wonder why they're not developing because they're not playing 30 plus games a season. That's how you develop as a player, not by watching senior teams on the bench. That's my mini rant over. 34 minutes. Jeez, I didn't think this was going to be this long. Manchester United versus Arsenal next. What's your prediction? So tune in. Actually, we will be doing hopefully a watch along for Manchester United versus Arsenal. If I'm not going to the game, I'm hoping to try and get to the game. But if not, we'll be doing a watch along Monday Night Football. And we'll be posting our pre-prediction on Saturday evening, Sunday evening, hopefully. Other thing as well is that we're doing a FIFA/PES simulation predictions. So we just simulate the game and see what happens. I actually simulated this game. I simulated it as 2-0 to Manchester United. It clearly wasn't Greenwood and Fred to score the goals. Greenwood, I was right on the Greenwood scoring, but of course, Rochdale scored. So there we go. So that's just something to look forward to. But anyway, to answer your question, Hassan Khalid, Man United, what's your prediction? Um, 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 I'm gonna say, um, I'm gonna say, I want to be optimistic. I'm gonna say if Martial is back, 2-1 to Manchester United, because I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. Um, because I just think Aubameyang is dangerous. And 2-1 to Manchester United with Martial and Greenwood to score. I'm assuming Greenwood is gonna start instead of Lingard, but those would be the two I'd say, or Martial brace, because Rashford's not gonna play because he's not fit. With a bang to score the goal against Manchester United, so 2-1 to Manchester United just is my prediction, but that is contingent on Martial playing. If Martial is not fit and does not play, then to be honest, I would not be surprised if it was at least 2-0 to Arsenal. And I know that's extreme, but I wouldn't be surprised. Um, the only thing is that Maguire's back and he's a better defender than Phil Jones ever will be. So there is that. Memphis Mitchell next PES stream. So PES streams. So ideally tomorrow evening. I'm just trying to think. Friday. Yeah. We'll try and do a late one. So it'll probably be after 9 o'clock. It will be a late stream. So 9:30. Yeah, 9:30 ish. Tomorrow evening we'll be going live with our PES walkthrough. You can have a look and make because there's a very good chance that I'm going to get sacked, but who knows? Who knows? Let me know in the comments on this video and whether you think that whether we should stream FIFA 20 as well, because we have been playing a bit of the FIFA 20 demo and it does look pretty sick, so we might be doing a bit of Manchester United career mode on that when it comes out as well. And Sonic Lead. What's our watch time? Jeez. Oh, there's more people watching. Thanks again for everyone watching, guys. Appreciate it. I was going to stop the stream after 10 minutes, but we'll just continue discussing if people want to listen to my voice. Um, Arsenal's in the same boat as us, but as you said, their finishing is elite. Yeah. You know, Arsenal. The thing about Arsenal, and again, I would say the same thing with the socials, that Arsenal, um, it's about tactics again. Arsenal actually have the squad. They have good midfielders in Özil, in Ceballos, in Torreira, in Jack. Well, okay, not Jack, Guendouzi. They have the forwards in Aubameyang, in Lacazette, in Nicolas Pepe. Um, the defense, okay, David Luiz is a bit of a banter, but they've got Socrates, they've got Holding, they've got Tierney, they've got Bellerin. You know, they've got the squad. They've got a much stronger squad than we are. The issue with Arsenal is tactically how they're set up by Emery, especially away from home. And for me, that's the only thing that possibly might give us the advantage. Um, um, we've also got a superior goalkeeper, as Hassan Khalid said. David De Gea will say us again. Um, Tactically, he sets Unai Emery sets up quite defensive away from home. That's how he sets up defensively, sets it away from home. And Arsenal have struggled away from home. So bearing that in mind, and if Martial's playing, if Pogba's playing, and if we can just play quicker, for goodness sake, if we can just play quicker, we have a chance. The key, like with all these things, is midfield. Um, who wins the battle midfield? Because honestly, if Tierney and Bellerin are playing against our fullbacks in Young and Wan-Bissaka, although I think Wan-Bissaka will be fine, Young not so much. In our midfield, can we match? I don't know. What I would say though is that again we have a fighting chance. Our chance of beating Arsenal is very much dependent on Emery's tactics. If Emery picks a side that consists of Xhaka and David Luiz, we've got this, frankly. But if especially at home, but if Emery goes full strength, and we have injuries, we'll have problems. We'll have problems. So yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Thanks to everyone who's watching, by the way. If you're new to this channel, please like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Check out our other videos as well, and get involved in live comments as well. I'm going to probably wrap up the stream in a bit. If anyone has any further other comments, but yeah, let me know what you think, guys. I mean, it's I am happy. I want to, don't get me wrong. I am happy. I am happy that we did win in the end, but I just think that we need to start identifying what our philosophy is. Um, as I listen, see you in the next session. Good job you're doing. We need a place to run, and I've got one now. Best of luck. Thanks, man. Yeah, by all means, we were doing this. Check out some of our videos. Let me know what you think. I'm always, and I'll give this to you as well, just as an aside. Like, just please post in what you think, what you actually want from this channel, because I want this channel not just to be about what I upload, what I give, but increasingly I want to see what you guys actually want to see more of. I know there have been quite a few of you guys that want to see me streaming Pro Evo, and that's what we're trying to do, some of those. But what are the type of things you want to cover? Do you want to see top 10 lists? Do you want to see compilations? Do you want to see music? Do you want to see just live stream rants? Do you want to see my face? Let me know in the comments, and let me know in the community tabs, like what more stuff you want to see from this channel. I am potentially thinking of creating 2 more separate channels to this. One which will just be a generic football channel where we'll just post about general football news across the whole football world, as well as PES and FIFA streams for different teams. And then another channel for just my other interests, which is like comics and games and films and stuff like that. That's just a general interest thing. So that's where I'm at. But yeah, thanks again to everyone who's watching. Really, really appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Manchester United won, Rochdale won. We did win in the end, but it was oncoming. What do you think about Ollie's tactics? Is this the beginning of the end? I hope not. I am still Ollie in, but we really need to see better. We really need to see better from this Manchester United side. Have a nice evening, guys, and cheers.